Welcome back to Bella Unwind. From Mariah Carey, our superstar, we're here now with 3 stars in Malaysia. They've just won awards at the recent 2012 Boh Cameronian Arts Awards. And I'd like to say a very good morning to Farah, who's an actor.
Rani.
Farah, Project Disco Baldi. We've got June Tan, producer, 5 Arts Centre, and Stephanie Ben Driesen. Driesen or Driesen? Driesen, a performer, musical and theatre. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to the show. My first question is, are theatre people very morning people?
No. Yes. Because she's a producer, so she is a morning person.
Because I met Stephanie in the makeup room, and she was like, I'm not a morning person. We perform at night. Yeah. Our adrenaline runs out at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We wake up at 4 p.m.
Yeah. Well, just in time for call time, yes.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on your recent wins. I was there and I saw both of you go up and receive your awards on stage. June, you won for Lee Soo-Fei's The Whole Beast, right?
Yep, that's right.
Best Music, Sound Design and Best Choreographer in a full-length work. Congratulations. How does that feel?
It feels great. Very encouraging.
Actually, to be honest, I was a little surprised.
Were you?
To have won. I think that explains my very short speech.
Yes. She just went up on stage and said, thank you. And then she walked off. I was like, what? No, thanking mommy and daddy and everything.
Thanks, Mom. I was very encouraged, and I think for us it was a little bit of a surprise because Soo-Fei's work is, I would say, highly unique and quite challenging. So to have won the award, it was really a very heartening surprise, and we were very encouraged by it.
Oh, great, great. And Farah, you just finished your last performance that night itself, on Saturday night for Project Disco Baldi, and you came up on stage and you were like ecstatic, adrenaline still pumping.
We were very uncool, screaming, and yeah.
But that's the way it should be when you win awards.
I suppose because it was our first show last year that we were nominated for and won for, and so we were all very surprised and very, very happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Stephanie, you've won Best Supporting Actress in a role in musical theatre for your role as Betty in Secret Life of Nora.
Yeah.
But you weren't there to receive the award. You are actually performing right now for Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz at Kelpak, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how does that feel? I mean, you've been in the industry for quite a while. I remember acting alongside with you in Cinderella many years ago. And you were amazing in Cabaret last year. I was completely blown away. And of course, your role as Betty. What do you have to say about your award?
For the award, I thought it was really pleasantly surprised. Like I didn't want to sort of like go into like, oh, win, or no. So I just kind of told my parents to go and enjoy the whole ceremony for me. And but I told my dad, it's like by SMS, I'm like, oh, in case I should win.
Were you performing at that time?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so you immediately got off stage and then you checked your phones.
Actually,
they right after, my boyfriend was like, oh, you won. And I was like, huh? Oh, you know, it was a moment where I was like, oh, wow.
Okay. Now, speaking about performing arts, you know, and with the, you know, Cameronians have, they've lapsed for 2 years and now they're back in the game. Do you think it's gotten better over the past 2 years? Have you worked a lot more? Have you seen a lot more productions happening? Have you, June?
The performing arts industry? Yeah, I think it's gotten more varied. And there are a lot more new groups that have come up, like Farah's group. And we've seen new, maybe, performing arts spaces, or different types of performing arts spaces. For example, the Annex has been used a lot also.
The one at Central Market,
That's right? Yeah. So it's not your typical, maybe, theatre. So that's quite encouraging, and it's quite exciting, actually.
Okay. And what does winning this award mean to 5 Arts?
It means that it's always nice to get some recognition, and you know, you try and be cool about it, and you're like, yeah, okay. But then when you're nominated, you're like, I was nominated. Yeah. And then when you win, you're like, oh, I won.
It's sweet, isn't it?
So I think the getting that appreciation from the industry really is very encouraging. Yeah.
Okay. Farah, your group is relatively new.
Yes.
It's not been in the industry, or, you know...
No, well, we've all separately, the 7 of us, we've separately been in the industry for a while.
Okay.
But Playground Productions is new. It's our new collective, our new production company. And to have been recognized for our first production is
incredible.
Okay. Yeah. And what was it like, you know, working together? And I understand that Project Disco Baldi was an idea between friends.
Yeah.
Sitting at a mama, I heard, you know, one of the recipients' speeches. What was that like? I mean,
it was, it's just the best thing in the world, because it's something we all love to do, and we love each other, and so to be able to do it together is just the best thing, yeah.
Okay. And what's, what else is happening for the group?
Well, later this month we've got improv comedy at KL Pack and in Penang Pack. So
Tell me about your director. He sounds very interesting.
Magat Charizal.
Yes. No. Who was the guy in the shorts? I thought he was the... Yes.
Guy in the shorts.
Yes. You're thinking of...
oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, your director, yes, Magat Charizal.
Well,
I saw him perform with Lena and all that couple of, I think last year, but, you know, what's he like?
He's had loads of experience, and so him directing is good. But it's also, we also direct ourselves as well, because it's just the 7 of us. So when he's in, other people try and give their opinions to how a scene should be. So it's a collective directing, but he does most of the decision making. But he's Magat. He's very cool.
Right. I guess it tells, you know, when people work very well together, you know, and hence your win for best performance, you know, and you know, it's a good ensemble. Stephanie, you've been, you studied musical theatre, right? And you've been in this for quite a while already. Was it tough for you in the beginning to start out as an actor, especially in theatre in Malaysia?
It was more difficult in Singapore because I graduated there and I started getting a, you know, because when you're fresh, you take anything, but then you get sort of typecast. And so I wanted something fresh. I wanted to sort of be, and that's actually why I came back here. Because I told myself I want to take different roles. I want to have a fresh start. So I was pretty lucky, I think, to sort of be able to start on quite a high note, I felt.
Right. Are there many people, are there many actors out there who have the same qualifications that you have?
I think more so now. Really? At least from the course, because when I was there, it was the pioneer year. Whereas now it's been on for about 5-6 years. So a lot of people who are actually there are a couple of Malaysian graduates coming up of LaSalle this year as well.
Right.
So I'm sure they'll come back and have influx themselves also into the scene and make it. Yeah.
So it's been good for you.
Yeah, I think I've been sort of lucky that the roles have been interesting and varied and also very stimulating.
Of course, and you're very talented as well.
Thank you.
You know, if you don't have the talent, you just won't get the roles, right? Well, it's true. I mean, as a producer, you know, you can't just put someone in just because he or she is good looking. He's got to have the goods to go with it, right?
We do that all the time, Elaine. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? Oh, man, I should audition.
But no, actually, especially with Fine Arts, you know, because, you know, we're very interested in contemporary stuff and experimental stuff. So we're very interested in new vocabulary. So someone may need not be trained in a particular, like dance or acting.
Yeah.
But we're always interested in working with what we think are interesting new dimensions and images.
How important is music and sound design in contemporary dance?
I think it's critical. Yeah, I think it's key. It forms a very strong component in the whole performance. You can go for a dance and not have music, and that's very telling and that's very strong. Or you can have very interesting, difficult music that complements oddly the dance itself.
But so it's very much needed, of course,
it's critical,
right? Yeah. Okay. Stephanie, how do you stay in focus and in character? You know, throughout your performances, you have an amazing presence on stage, you know, and watching you in cabaret was just amazing. Of course, Betty as well in Secret Life of Nora. How do you do it? What's going through your head?
It's really just preparation. There's so much that I actually have to sit and just stew in it. And sometimes it's not very pleasant for people around me because I kind of vibe it out.
Really? What happens?
Yeah, like I just, like if it's a very intense scene, I have to sit there and let it sink in, and so the emotions come to that space of heightenedness. So it can get quite tiring actually, because it's quite method in a way that beforehand I really have to be in a zone, otherwise the focus is not there.
Sure.
Yeah, like for Cabaret was actually very intense because it was the main character and there's so much going on for her. In Nora it was a little bit lighter because also there's less stage time.
but because of that, I made every second count. You know, on stage you're like there for 5 minutes, so you might as well just go out there and just shine, you know?
Right, right.
So it was, but I like storytelling. So for me, it's always a case of how can I make it fresher every night. You know?
Because every night's a kind of like a different performance.
Yeah.
You have a different set of audience.
That's right.
I think people out there don't understand that, you know, they go some nights and they'll go like, yeah, it was okay, and then some nights, but it depends on the audience,
It
wouldn't
really
you?
does.
Wouldn't you
Actually,
say?
as actors as well, like it's such an interesting thing. You bring something to the table, but when the audience comes in, it's like a different dynamic. And we can't wait for that. Some actors only fully blossom on stage when they have that audience in front of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Farah, so basically, do you have any background training in
Well, no, not training, but I started acting in 2006, so I've been doing it for a while.
but your group, basically, it's a very low-key, chilled-out thing that you decide to do theatre.
Yeah, no, well, we've all acted before. We've all been acting for a while, and so for some reason we all just gravitated towards each other and started our own company.
Was it frustrating for you when you started to get stuff out there, to have
started the production company?
to have people come watch what you do?
No, we've been very lucky because last year was our first production, and I think
Theatre's evolving.
yeah, and also because we have
Okay.
and also because we have a few big names in our group, like Reza Minhat and Ido Putra. So they do movies, and so people, they have their fan base, and so they come to watch our shows.
Okay.
So we've been lucky in that sense.
Have both of you done TV at all?
No,
Just some cameos here and there.
How different is it? A lot of people, I'm sure there are like tons of young people out there who say, I want to be in theatre, I want to be in TV, but what's the difference? Maybe you can share this with them.
Well, the process is really different. I mean, with theatre, you rehearse for months and then you go on stage. But with TV, here's a script. Go do it. And it's not as fun for me because I enjoy the process.
Okay.
So
well, and also the level of, how do you say, the level of reach is different in the medium. Like in theatre, everything is too big.
Yeah.
Because you've got to reach the person right at the end.
And then you've got to make
in
everything
film, it's
really
like
small.
really small, yeah.
Okay, fantastic stuff. When we're going to go for a very short break, so hold those thoughts, girls. When we come back, this is what we have for you. Welcome back to Bella Unwind. I am here with Farah, Rani, June Tan and Stephanie Van Driesen, who are the recent winners at the Boh Cameronian Awards. Now, ladies, please tell me, what is your perception on our performing arts scene now in Malaysia? June?
my perception. I think it's actually a very broad industry.
And you have things like musical theatre, which can play to 1,400 seater in Istana Budaya. And you have smaller groups.
Like the annex?
Yeah, that you can play at the annex and maybe seat like 100 people.
Okay.
So it's actually a very broad
Industry, and
I think some parts of it is still very niche, and some parts of it's quite popular in that sense.
Okay.
but I'm not really answering the question right. So I think that
I mean, do you think there are more people, you know, going to watch the theatre? Do you think it's always been known, or rather, you know, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago people say it's only for the elite, and only the elite can go and afford to go and buy tickets and watch theatre. You know, what's your take on it today, to 2012?
I think for theatre, maybe no. I don't think there's a growing number of people who are watching.
Oh, really? So you find the same, as a producer, do you sit down outside at the box office and you see the same people coming in all the time to watch it?
Same. Sometimes new segments, but it really depends on where we're staging it.
Right.
But we're finding more interesting types of theatre. If we have an annex, maybe a new crowd comes in.
Okay.
And I think 2 years ago we had a project Angkat Rumah, where we carried this house on Jalan
Ipoh,
okay,
as part of Urbanscapes. It was part of a project with Liu Seng Tat. So we carried a Malay house, a project Angkat Rumah. Yeah. So that to us was quite a performance. It was a theatrical performance. So we got a new type of fan base from that, new type of supporters. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's evolving, I feel. And we're moving out, maybe out of the theatre space.
Right.
And we're seeing more interesting cross-discipline, multidisciplinary stuff. Like for example, the whole piece is not really just a dance. Souffle actually speaks during the piece.
Right.
So there are a lot of very theatrical, dramatic, almost theatrical elements in this dance, in this contemporary dance.
Right. Yeah, because, you know, you always hear of people saying, oh, you know, theatre, one must dress up, you know, must susah lah to go, you know, and all that. I tak faham lah, you know, watching all this. Stephanie, what do you think? You know, do you think that, you know?
Well, I think there's actually theatre for every level of society, I think.
Right.
Like, there's so many different types, even in musicals as well. I mean, last year there was just so many things that were going on. I mean, there was cabaret, which was sort of more the
You were back
classical,
to back, right?
Yeah, that was more classical genre musical theatre, but then we had Lat, and we had, you know, all these other shows which were sort of Malaysian, but, you know, still in that genre. And I suppose, speaking from a musical point of view, I do think that there are a lot more, you know, musicals coming out, and I think people are, maybe because of the element of dance and fanfare and all that in musicals, so people tend to be able to gravitate towards it with a little less push than maybe in a very niche theatrical setting, like, for example, a I don't know, like a dance piece which is slightly, you know, abstract or something.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
I feel like it's just different people would gravitate to different things. But I do
What
feel
you like, you know?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And Farah, what do you think, you know?
Well, I think because what we do is sketch comedy, and sketch comedy is quite easily accessible, I think.
People always love to
People
laugh.
always love
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live and things like that. So it was very easy to, well, not easy, it was easier, I think, compared to maybe what June does, to market our shows.
Sure, sure.
And I think a lot of people would come up to me after the show and say, oh, this is my first time watching theatre, and I really enjoyed it. And that's, I think, the best. So I think with our company, people come and they try it out. And that's probably because of the big names we have, maybe. But the fact that they try it out and, yeah. So
Expose themselves to
Yeah.
new culture,
Yeah.
right? I think that's the key.
Yeah.
So that we can, you know, I mean, the performing arts scene can grow
Yeah.
much better.
I do
get
feel like
into
there's more
budgets.
tie-in with media. Sometimes it helps because obviously like TV and even radio,
PR stuff.
people are more exposed to that. And so if, like, I feel like even though some people don't quite like Glee, you know, or Smash, for example,
Yeah.
but those things really help because people go, oh, that's musicals. Like, for example, there's a, oh, this is a musical too, let's go watch it, you know,
Okay,
in
okay.
Calpac or something.
the cultural references are,
Yeah.
are wider now.
Yeah, I find
Fantastic.
that really makes it easy.
Now, in terms of what's next for yourself, for Five Arts, what's happening after this? Projects?
For us, we'll be making more use of our space in Tamantun. We're hoping to turn it into a small, like, performing space.
Okay.
So that most probably we'll have a lot of workshop performances there, and we're going to have a film screening.
Right.
Several film screenings. We're
Okay.
having a dance film series coming out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So when you talk about workshops, you mean to say people out there who want to be thespians, actors, they can come and learn from the Five Arts Centre?
Definitely, yeah. Go
Okay.
to our Facebook page. Are we allowed to plug it?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, I'm sure a lot of people out there right now like, tell us.
Five Arts Centre, you can either Google us, go to our Facebook page. We'll be having workshops. We're having a voice and acting workshop this weekend.
A voice and acting workshop.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Go to our web. Chin San Sui and Pearly Chua will be holding it.
Ah,
so
wow.
go to
The
our...
madam herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're also going to Singapore because we've been invited. Well, Marion Cruz has been invited by the Singapore Arts Fest. She's been commissioned. I think she's one of the first few Malaysians that have been commissioned by the Singapore Arts Fest, the Singapore Arts Council, to bring back the Urn piece, which she did in 1988. I think.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So
Okay.
she's doing that. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And what's next for you,
We
Farah?
have improv comedy later
Next.
this month.
Okay.
It's Aya Improv Jom.
Aya Improv Job.
Yeah, Aya
Okay.
is the name of the company. It's Artificially Intelligent Improvaholic.
For yours.
Or
So
Aya.
arty.
Aya.
Okay, okay. And you are performing as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz,
Yes,
which is
yes.
on now?
It's on now till Sunday.
So you must be
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yes, you can tell with the boy.
You'll be performing tonight, I
Tonight as
presume?
well. Actually, tonight is, if anyone wants to come, tonight's actually the best time to
Calpac,
come.
right?
Calpac Pintas 1 because
Fantastic.
they're...
When are you going for your next holiday?
Right after.
Okay, well, this next piece, well, thank you very much, ladies, for,
Thank you
for
very
being
much.
here. But this next piece might just interest some of you who are workaholics out there and who wants a little break. Now, our Bella crew went to Bali recently, and this is what they found out for us. Let's take a look.